The sound of the South.
Together, we can make a difference. BBC Radio Solent.
Yes, that's right. Parcel Central, 7:45. Good morning. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. You might not be aware that this month is EDS Awareness Month. So what is EDS? It's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a group of rare conditions that can affect connective tissue. Joining me now is Sarah Clark, who lives with EDS, and Lara Bloom, the president and CEO of the Ehlers-Danlos Society. Let's say good morning to Sarah first. Hi Sarah, how are you doing?
Good morning, Alan. I'm okay, thanks.
Haven't heard of this or much about this, so explain what it's like living with EDS and what it is.
I contacted the show to see if you could say something about EDS and HSD Awareness Month, but then I got nervous. I contacted Lara to see if she would come on the show with me, because Lara is just this incredibly passionate and determined individual who's done so much to raise awareness. So I'll let her say a bit in a minute.
I got you. Yeah. You've got your wing woman in Lara there. I see what you're doing. Your wing woman, she's waiting in the wing. Let's stay there a second. Let's say a quick hello. Lara, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Right, okay, you're going to fill in all the blanks that Sarah feels too nervous to tell me. Sarah, back to you.
Try.
Tell me all about EDS for you.
Okay, so I had over a decade of physical problems and I just wasn't believed, and this is really, really common. Lara often refers to a diagnostic odyssey. For me, sadly, I went through a lot of childhood sexual abuse and I have a mental health diagnosis, and this confounded my EDS diagnosis journey even more and just made the doctors not believe me. So I went through over a decade of bladder, bowel, stomach pains, nerve entrapment problems, nausea, vomiting, pelvic floor problems, chronic UTI, dizziness, fainting, and they just kind of said it's psychological, you've been abused. So the kind of standpoint I'm coming from is I am 36 now. I got diagnosed last year, age 35, and around the time of my diagnosis I had family members, doctors say, oh, don't bother getting diagnosed with EDS, nothing can be done about it. So that is really not true, and I want to challenge that misconception because it's 15 months ago since I got diagnosed, and I'm just so much better. Just being diagnosed has dramatically changed the trajectory of my life and kind of got aspects of my health and wellness back that I thought I'd lost forever. Incredible. And I suffered for years with complex PTSD and OCD. It's almost like I'm going through a phase of post-traumatic growth now. Now I've been diagnosed and on appropriate treatment. I'm back at uni doing clinical and developmental neuropsychology and just kind of turn my life around from treatment. Not saying I'm better, because every day I'm kind of still micromanaging which symptom from which body system troubles me the most, and managing that symptom that day has knock-on effects to another symptom and another body system another day.
Yeah, of
so
course.
it's like a constant exhausting battle, and sort of it's the frustrating thing for me lately is people keep saying, oh wow, you look so well, Sarah, you look amazing. And I've lost 8 stone in 3 years, but it's been unintentional because of the GI issues from the EDS, and so it's an invisible illness, and the only thing that looks wrong with me is self-harm scars on my arms, and it's just changed my life getting diagnosed, but I still could be so much better.
What a journey you've been through. What a journey you've been through. And also, the complexity of what you've been through and the pain just emotionally of wondering what's going on must have been extraordinary. Thank you for being so honest with everyone on the radio, Sarah. You were so nervous about your story, but you've been so honest. Intriguing to hear about. Laura, before we run out of time, I mean, Sarah's story is extreme, but part of it that really screams out to me is that she desperately needed that diagnosis. Explain a little bit about how you're helping people get a correct diagnosis for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, EDS is a kind of genetic connective tissue condition, and there's actually 14 types. And we know the genetic cause behind 13 of them, but the most prevalent type, which is the type that Sarah has, we don't know the genetic cause behind it. So it is very hard to get that diagnosis. It's also multi-systemic. The average time to diagnosis is 10 to 12 years. So people are being left to decondition for their symptoms to get much worse and for them to have a much lower quality of life than perhaps they could if they were diagnosed when symptoms began. So we're really trying to educate the medical community so that they are able to understand and be able to diagnose the condition. And although there is no cure and there are no real licensed treatments or therapies, management and critically the validation behind getting that diagnosis is huge.
It's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah, it's got to be.
Really increase quality of life.
I agree. It's got to be a good diagnosis and awareness, which is what this month is all about. EDS Awareness Month. If that's intrigued you, jump online to have a read. And Sarah, thank you. You're amazing.